It all began with Scrappy and a baby bomb that no one saw coming, and something crazy just happened. The entire cast began responding as soon as the article appeared on blogs. Fans, however, were taken aback by Mena's tirade at Yandy Smith, which has left everyone wondering where it all started. There are now accusations that Yandy's alleged uplifting women's agenda has angered Erica, who has been largely silent since her own nasty problems. And although Yandy believed she was merely offering Shakira support during her emotional collapse following Scrappy's refusal, Erica obviously didn't see it that way. She allegedly yelled, "Yandy is using every woman's pain for image," as she cut off the camera. Oh no! And because Mendeecees is caught in the midst of it all, the plot gets more complicated. According to insiders, his attempt to defuse the situation may have backfired, particularly after Yandy discovered that he might have been diming Erica behind her back to maintain harmony. Fans are taken aback. Feelings were running high. Furthermore, what began as a straightforward expression of sympathy is now degenerating into a cast-wide dispute that could endanger marriages as well as friendships and connections. This one is getting messier by the minute, so keep an eye on it. It all started with a low-key, unobtrusive rooftop supper. Scrappy has recently revealed Shakira's pregnancy. Additionally, something quite new was developing behind the scenes, while the majority of people were still dealing with the devastation caused by that revelation. Yandy had sent what appeared to be a sincere letter in support of Shakira, highlighting her resilience and denouncing the disdain that women frequently experience after giving birth. Soon after, gossip blogs began to share the message, and fans speculated as to whether Yandy's remarks were intended to disparage Scrappy or just support Shakira. However, Mena then joined the conversation. She first only liked a few dubious remarks under Yandy's article without saying more. However, those small effects were immediately apparent. Shortly after, Erica posted something of her own that shocked the cast and everyone else. Fans quickly made the connection, and the comment section erupted when they saw the words, "Stop using other women's pain to polish your image. We see you." Not even Yandy had replied yet. Additionally, Team Yandy versus Team Erica was already a popular online fad. Attempts were made to maintain neutrality. That's what he told everyone, anyway. He did not, however, disclose that he had privately messaged Erica. Unfortunately for him, Erica took a photo of that message and shared it privately with certain cast members, including Carly Red, shortly after she posted it. He added, "I get where you're coming from, but let's not blow up." And that was the beginning of the downward spiral. Being Carly, Karlie, wasted no time. During a hair appointment, she laughed and informed Rashida, "Mendeecees, the female, is playing both sides. You know, Yandy will be furious when she learns." Rashida remained silent. Yandy remained in the dark while she gazed at Carly in the mirror and uttered, "If that was Kirk, I'd lose it." She thought the tension was simply another internet shambles since she hadn't seen Mendeecees' message to Erica yet. The following day, however, something changed when she entered a press conference and noticed Erica staring at her smugly from the other side of the room. There was a lot of energy. Wearing a crimson blazer, Erica had her hair styled and was drinking wine, as if she had already won a fight that no one else knew about. Yandy remained calm, stayed on the other side of the venue, and smiled for pictures. However, the murmurs had begun. It was during Spice's listening party that everything fell apart. Tensions were already high due to the Shakira and Scrappy controversy, and the entire cast had been invited. Spice had just finished her second song when Yandy drew Mendeecees away. She was, "I said, she said. You have been corresponding with Erica." He played it off despite a tiny shift in his face. "I simply advised her to calm down. She was crazy on the internet." Yandy didn't shout. She didn't cry. Simply nodded, sipped her drink, and went back. Inside, Mendeecees realized then that something was about to happen. Things were becoming chaotic within the party. Erica had been approached near the bar by Carly Red, who questioned if she intended to apologize to Yandy. Carly grinned as Erica rolled her eyes and asked, "For what?" "Telling the truth. You can always count on the truth to blow up in your face." Rashida, however, was attempting to maintain the calm. She knew how ugly things could grow because she and Kirk had experienced enough public crises. However, Kirk leaned over and whispered, "Erica's got a point, though. Andy is always trying to be Mother Teresa on camera," Rashida snapped, and even she couldn't hide her uneasiness. "Don't make any comparisons between them." "Hey, this mess is not something I'm going to repeat." When a producer proposed holding a sit-down between Yandy and Erica on the following day of filming, the tension increased. Yandy declined. "Someone drags other women for attention, I won't sit down with them." Naturally, Erica agreed right away. "I'll speak. The one avoiding genuine communication is she." The gap was widening. Yandy's previous videos of him preaching power and loyalty were being reposted by fans who also layered Erica's new videos with clumsy subtitles. By the end of the party, Mendeecees made another attempt to clarify himself. Blogs were already labeling their stories with language like "yay," "gets exposed," and "Mendeecees is caught slipping." He discovered Yandy sitting by herself on a couch, glancing at her phone without making eye contact. Yandy looked up slowly, her voice steady, and he sat next to her, silent for a time before saying, "I just didn't want you to look like the bad guys. Erica's unpredictable. And who am I?" Under control, he didn't respond. Carly, meanwhile, was back in her hotel suite and had already called a blogger she had previously collaborated with. She revealed just enough to get things going, but not too much. Let's just say that there is more to this Erica-Yandy dispute than most people realize. Additionally, a person's spouse may be more involved than he admits. A headline appeared online in a matter of hours. During the Erica-Yandy conflict, Mena was found playing both sides. Is there a problem with their marriage? It was a nasty comment. Erica was held accountable by half of the supporters for causing needless conflict. The other half had long doubted Yandy's intentions on the trauma of other women. The situation was made worse by the laughing emojis that Scrappy ball users submitted beneath the blog post. Morning, Shakira unfollowed him. The subsequent shoot. The day was stressful. Everyone was aware that something had changed. Ignoring the cameras, Yandy strolled on set with her head held high. Wearing sunglasses and chomping gum like she owned the place, Erica was an hour late. Mendeecees had already arrived, silent, avoiding everyone's gaze, and carrying a bottle of water. Yandy wasted no time as the filming began. "You don't care about women, you care about being right," she replied, glancing at Erica. Erica chuckled. "Says the lady who boosted her brand by taking advantage of every baby mama moment on this franchise." The room became silent. They were asked to maintain decorum by a producer. Neither paid attention. Although they weren't shouting, their remarks were powerful. Yandy mentioned Erica's previous relationship with Safri. When Yandy staged a reunion with Mendeecees for the cameras, Erica brought it up. Even though they weren't hurling drinks, the harm was more severe than anything that could be caused by liquid. To intervene, but Yandy silenced them. "When she made fun of me, you remained silent. She didn't say anything when she made fun of Shakira, and now you want to step in? Choose a side." He took a seat back. Backstage, defeated, Carly drank tea and a barrage of tweets accusing Kirk and Mendeecees of betraying the sisterhood. By midday, what had started as a heated argument between Erica and Yandy had turned into a story about the men closest to them, and Rashida decided she couldn't keep quiet any longer. She asked producers to meet with her and insisted on a segment where Kirk and Shay could address the rumors. They initially hesitated to rate Spike when the feud stayed unresolved, but ultimately agreed to film a brief scene for next week's episode, which only served to feed speculation. Later that afternoon, the cast assembled for a group scene at a posh spa retreat. The setting was serene, with marble floors and cascading water features, but the atmosphere was tense. Yandy came in first, posing regally and scanning faces, followed by Erica, who took selfies as if she dared anyone to challenge her. Rashida and Kirk trailed behind, taking measured steps, while Mendeecees hovered near the entrance, checking updates on the timeline with his phone. The director called to action, and the cameras rolled. The plan was straightforward. Candid conversation about self-care. Within minutes, however, Rashida deviated from the Erica, overheard Kirk's uneasy shrug, and added, "Marriage in crisis." "I'd love to see it. Don't bring healthy relationships into your chaos," she said in a teasing tone that was lighthearted, enough to conceal the insult. Yandy turned to face Erica, her eyes flaming. There was silence. Mendeecees took a deep breath and looked from Erica to his wife. After the scene, the group wardrobe changes. Yandy moved to the corner, checking her phone. Messages from fans poured in, some praising her for confronting Erica, while others warned her that her cause was overshadowing her personal life. She typed out a quick response. At that moment, everyone realized that the cameras were capturing genuine raw emotion, that the rehearsed banter they'd planned was gold. That never went out. "This is bigger than me." She closed her eyes for a moment, feeling the pressure of public expectations. Erica. In the meantime, she was huddled with Carly while they read next to the makeup trailer. Carly gave Erica her phone and pointed to a screenshot of Kirk's apology text that had been leaked. "I never meant to hurt you," she said, laughing. "See, he's dangling like a puppet." Carly grinned. Back in the spa's garden, Rashida was pacing by a reflecting pool with her hands on her hips. Kirk came slowly, trying to choose his words carefully, and said, "I'm sorry," which made her wince. Sorry had become a meaningless word between them. "What? I did hurt you. But I'm trapped here, too." I didn't want Erica or Mendeecees to think I was ignoring their side. The producer stepped in and called everyone for a brief group interview for the cast's social channels, and Rashida closed her eyes and shook her head, thinking that perhaps some things should remain unsaid. Knowing that tensions were almost at a boiling point, they huddled onto soft white couches beneath a gazebo, with the camera drone hovering like a hawk. And the interviewer began with light questions about their favorite spa treatment and future projects, but then shifted. "We have to address the elephant. What's going on between Yandy and Erica?" Yandy took a deep breath, remained composed, and said, "Erica and I have always fought for women in our own ways. The struggle tonight is merely a new chapter. I fight for honesty. Yandy fights for headlines." Erica leaned forward and arched a brow. Kirk shuffled uneasily. Rashida bit her lip. "Mendeecees, do you think you played fairly?" was the next question. "I've tried to help Yandy and Erica, but perhaps I didn't realize how much it would impact my marriage," he said, clearing his mouth. The group was silenced by that admission alone. When Rashidita's gaze shifted to Kirk, the spectators saw the unsaid tension as marital fissures. As the sun began to set, the cast gathered again for a candlelit dinner by the poolside. Lanterns cast golden halos on faces, but the lighting couldn't hide the exhaustion etched into everyone's expressions. They sat at a long table, servers hovered ready. Over the next hour, clips from the interview started to appear online. Talk at the water cooler centered on whether Kirk actually cared about Rashidita's feelings or just wanted to plate the gossip. Yandy watched the replay, winced at Kirk's words, and then texted a straightforward question to a trusted friend. "Why do I feel betrayed by everyone?" At first, the conversation was courteous, but the underlying tension of unresolved conflict made every silence deafening. Erica clinked glasses and raised a toast to honesty, no matter how messy. Yandy hesitated, half smiled, and then raised her glass too. Kirk and Rashidita exchanged a quick glance before he sighed. "Two real conversations," he added in a low voice. Rashida forced a smile of understanding, and DC paused before raising his glass to continue. The collective nod felt fragile, but Then a shout broke the delicate silence. Ah! A paparazzi drone hovered too close. This is precisely why I can't do this anymore. Rashida stood, pointing at the waiter, tears threatening, as the table erupted in frantic apologies and hurried cleanup. She stormed off, leaving Kirk frozen, his wine dripping onto his hand. The table fell silent. Erica watched Kirk's shock and tucked her napkin quietly. Yandy blinked back tears. And Mendeecees stood and whispered, "I'll go after her." He moved away. At least there was an implicit ceasefire between Yandy and Erica as they exchanged glances. For that moment, fans who watched online flooded social media with theories. Was this the end of Rashida and Kirk? Would Yandy and Erica ever get back together? And was Mendeecees wise enough to save both relationships? As the night wore on, bits and pieces of conversation floated through the gardens. With Rashida sobbing behind closed doors, Kirk pacing frantically in the hallway, Yandy writing another status update, and Erica texting behind her back. The idyllic spa retreat had turned into a pressure cooker ready to explode, and it was all connected to one igniting spark. "You ruined everything tonight," Rashida said without looking up as she retreated to her suite, slamming the door behind her. The clink of her heels echoing down the hallway, each step heavier than the last, and Kirk sitting on the edge of the bed, staring at the spilled wine stain on the carpet as if it held the solution to all their problems. "Nothing you do seems to end well," she said, laughing hollowly as Kirk ran a hand through his hair. "I didn't mean for it to get that bad." There was a long pause before Kirk muttered, "I apologize." "Sorry doesn't make up for betrayal," Rashida said, shaking her head. Back at the spa garden, Yandy paced under the lantern with a light phone in hand. She scrolled through instant uploads of LHHATL's meltdown, with captions blaring. "LHHATL quitting." And Kirk in hot water. Her heart sank. Was all Shakira's fault. But now everyone she cared about was falling apart. She tapped a message to Mendeecees, hoping to calm the reply. "Is she okay?" Yandy sighed and typed, "This is very peaceful." Erica, still perched by the pool's edge, watched Yandy's message send. She sipped her champagne, lips curling into a smirk. A notification popped up on her screen from Carly. "Read your move," Erica texted back. "Watch and learn." Producers hovered, pens ready to record every word as she walked toward the main villa, where a late-night conference room had been set up for off-camera discussions. Erica went in and spoke to the assembled staff, saying, "This cast needs order, or at least the appearance of it." One producer nodded, raising an eyebrow. "I want a joint sit-down tomorrow morning." Erica went on, "To maximize the drama, Yandy, Rashida, Kirk, Mendeecees, and Souser will all argue this in front of cameras." Behind the scenes, she had set up the video to appear on social media within hours. In another scene, Kirk slipped down the stairs to find Rashida, only to discover Mendeecees waiting at the bottom, his eyes shadowed. "You saw tonight?" Kirk nodded. "Did more than see it." Mendeecees paused, then said softly, "I shouldn't have texted Erica. I thought I was doing the right thing." The cast gathered around a long table, plates of fruit and pastries forgotten as dawn crept over the horizon. Yandy arrived first, wearing a pastel wrap dress, her expression unreadable. Followed by Erica in tailored black heels clicking, and Rashida entered with Kirk following, her face It's honesty. "I want to know who supported me and who took advantage of me." "I should have come to you first," Kirk whispered softly. "I didn't want to hurt you, but I see now I did." Kirk got up and came to Rashidah's side, placing a hand on her chair as the early light struck her eyes. Rashida gazed at him and said, "Kirk, actions speak louder than words." "I never meant to drag Rashida into this," Yandy said, clearing her throat as he nodded and swallowed hard. "I believed I was standing up for a woman, not ending a marriage." "We all thought we were doing the right thing," Erica said, her face softening a little. "But we forgot whose lives we were playing with." "We owe each other more respect than this," Menda said, leaning forward and speaking loudly. After Carly read, Rashida's aide showed up at the terrace door with a tablet. "I have something," Carly said, tapping the screen as the cameras continued to record, but the tension changed from unbridled rage to brittle repentance before taking a dramatic turn. "Yandy," she said softly. The table fell silent. Yandy swallowed. "I sent those messages," she admitted. "I was trying to control the narrative to protect Shakira." A private message thread with a video clip of Yandy complimenting Mendeecees for handling Erica and promising big support began to play. When Erica's posts went live, Yandy's face drained, her eyes narrowed, and Mendeecees blinked in confusion. Kirk moved closer to Rashida. "I was unaware that I was controlling everyone." Rashida shook her head. "So, one lady using her power is acceptable, but not another." Yandy's voice broke. "No, it's not okay. I apologize." Her cheeks started to well up with tears. Mendeecees grabbed Yandy's hand from across the table. "This is our fault," he remarked. "We allowed one controversy to feed another." Silently, Rashida glanced between them. "How do we stop then?" Kirk cleared his throat. "Rebuilding trust is the first step. No more secrets." Erica gave a nod. Everyone was taken aback. "She offered to remove my posts that made fun of Shakira. I'll also issue a public apology." Yandy shrugged, her shoulders exhaustion mixed with tears of relief. The cast did not move when the producer yelled, "Cut!" A circle of unresolved anguish and hesitant hope surrounded them. Cameras continued to record this spontaneous gesture of solidarity. For a brief moment, the villa seemed less like a battlefield and more like a safe haven. They were the only ones who could grow from their errors. Online, fans' comments exploded outside. Did Yandy simply acknowledge her error? Mendeecees saves the day with Erica's sincere apology. Timeliness sped through speculation. However, the group made a straightforward commitment to treat each other's emotions with respect while they were on that terrace. They were aware that it would be difficult. There was always the next scandal to come. For a single morning, however, they opted for truth rather than conflict. And they smiled tentatively at one another as the sun rose higher. Maybe they're ready to patch the wounds voices had produced. As the cast of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta assembled for what was meant to be a restorative lunch, the morning sun peeked through the curtains. There was an unwritten agreement to put on brave faces for the cameras. Even though the discoveries from last night were still weighing heavily on the air. Yandy showed up wearing a gentle yellow blouse, her eyes bright but her lids heavy with exhaustion. Shortly after, Erica entered with her heels clicking on the marble floor and an air of assurance that made it seem like she owned every stride. Together, Rashida and Kirk sat down, their hands grazing the table as they silently prepared to face whatever lay ahead. Hovering over the buffet dish, Mendeecees' eyes darted from one nervous pair to another. The host greeted everyone warmly and inquired about their opinions of yesterday's sit-down as the cameras rolled. Leaning forward, Rashida spoke steadily. "We said the truth. It's time to proceed now." With his fingers intertwined with hers, Kirk nodded. "Let us know what you think. Did Erica go too far? Was Yandy's defense justified? How should Mendeecees and Kirk handle this fallout? Let us know what you think. No more secrets, no more manipulation, no more collateral damage. Now, where do we go? From here, can friendships withstand this kind of pressure? Will marriages recover, or is the damage too? What happens when the next scandal occurs? Will you support them, or call out the hypocrisy again? If you're interested, hit the like button and subscribe to keep up with all the twists and turns of this love, loyalty, as well as treachery.